Was one of the sweeteners the action figure for your character, Dr. Alan Grant? I've got one here. I don't know if you've seen one, but the likeness here, it's just spot on.
Well, you know, I think what's happened in this case is that Alan Grant has clearly been on steroids for 8 years, and his head has shrunk. This is what happens when you abuse steroids.
Oh yes, definitely.
Be warned.
Yes, I will. Yes, kids at home, take close note.
Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I actually wanted to talk about Jurassic Park 3 again. Recently, some new information has been revealed about the third film in the series that I honestly had never heard of before. It involves an action sequence that would have given us something drastically different from what made it into the final cut of the movie, and I personally think it could have been really cool. That new information happens to be of a motorcycle chase that would have had our protagonists speed off on InGen bikes to get away from a pack of hungry Velociraptors. The evidence to support this action scene's development was shown off on the Facebook page Behind the Gates. They give a lot of cool insight into what was going on during the making of all 5 films of the series so far. Link will of course be provided down in the description below. Now, the image that they happen to share was concept art that featured the following text. At a certain point in the production of JP3, a bike chase sequence with raptors was considered. Not much is known about it, but according to illustrators that worked on the movie, part of the sequence would happen inside a squarish glass building like a greenhouse that was never shown on the big screen. David Lowery drew the following conceptual image that would have inspired the would-be bike chase. So, hearing this information now, almost 20 years since the release of the third JP movie, is really fascinating to me. As all of you already know, Jurassic Park 3 had a pretty chaotic production, and a lot of stuff was written and performed on the fly. Looks like this much more complicated action sequence was more than likely one of the bigger casualties that fell by the wayside after they decided to simplify the plot down into the parasailing rescue story. I can see a scene like this being way more elaborate and having to be planned out far more thoroughly than much of the remaining stuff that's in the film, apart from the birdcage stuff, of course. One thing I really want to get more information on is the description of a greenhouse-like room that the motorcycle chase would have taken place in. I wonder what InGen would have had a greenhouse for. Exotic or extinct plants that they wanted to feed the dinosaurs with maybe? Or possibly a building used to help regulate egg temperature? Whatever it was, it looks like the raptors would have chased Grant and the others through it in a scene that could very well have been retooled for Chris Pratt in Jurassic World. Now honestly, I should have seen this coming from a mile away, because Jurassic Park movies love to repackage old ideas into newer films. One idea that was originally conceptualized for The Lost World happened to be a bike chase through the worker village, which was actually more or less taken from the novel of the same name, where Kelly and Sarah have to chase down a raptor with a key stuck around its neck. So I guess after having been abandoned in Lost World, Joe Johnston thought it would have been cool for JP3, and I gotta say, I don't really blame him. The idea worked wonders in Jurassic World after all, but you know why we all really should have expected something like this being in JP3? Because it actually popped up as a level for the Game Boy Advance video game tie-in that came out the same year. Just like the Red Raptor that I talked about in a video from about a month ago, JP3 Island Attack featured a motorcycle chase where Alan Grant had to speed away from some raptors on Site B. It even had him get the keys from the laboratory that we see him get chased out of in the movie. Maybe Jurassic Park 3 Island Attack is our closest understanding of what the original version of JP3 was supposed to be. I mean, after seeing the Red Raptors, the extended birdcage stuff, and now the motorcycle chase, it would make a lot of sense. But anyways, these are all just my thoughts on the bike chase that we never got to see. What do all of you guys personally think? Are you of the opinion that this would have been a pretty cool scene to watch in the movie, or do you have other thoughts on the subject matter? I gotta say it looks kinda cool, although I have no idea how it would fit into the rest of the plot. Whatever your own personal thoughts and opinions may be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I want to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Just the fact that you guys watch these videos and support my content means the world to me, and I want to make sure that all of you never forget that. Now I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch today's video, and hope that you all had fun. I'll see you all in the next one, guys, and as always, take it easy.